what you see.
Hello? I'm behind you. I'm behind you. I'm behind you. I'm walking behind you. Turn around.
I saw the car.
Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. I'm here in St. Louis for Vice News. We just started streaming. We are currently in the Shaw neighborhood of St. Louis, where another unarmed teen was killed by police less than a week ago. People gathered today at the site of his memorial, and it was maybe a crowd of 300-400 people, and then they split into groups. And they're now marching towards an unspecified site. We still don't have a lot of information on where we're going, but we know there are two different groups possibly going to the same place. And with us are also the parents of the teen that was just killed this week. And as many of you probably know, this is the third day of action, part of the Ferguson October weekend, the Columbus Day weekend initiative that organizers of the protests in St. Louis have been putting together to sort of build up momentum. This was a movement that was born on the heels of the murder of Mike Brown, another 18-year-old black teen that was killed on August 9th in Ferguson, in a different part of the city. That killings brought a lot of protesters on the street. It brought a massive police response to protesters. You guys probably followed us back then. And it's now been more than 2 months since Mike Brown's killing. The officer
got every right. You got every right. Y'all can't block us off. We on the sidewalk. Y'all patrol us. Fuck y'all. Y'all patrol us. The fuck you mean? None of that shit. Y'all blocking us. We're not blocking y'all. We're not putting y'all down. Let us go. Y'all firing up on us, officers. We are not blocking y'all. Y'all blocking us from our First Amendment right.
So we're back live. We were down for a moment. I'm one of the groups that gathered at the memorial of the teen that was killed earlier this week. We have now walked the police. Pretty much all the protesters really are on the sidewalk, and they're telling police that they're on the sidewalk. The only people you really see on the street right now are media. But police are trying what looks like an intimidating tactic, just beating their batons, telling people to push back. There were maybe 400 people or so tonight that started marching. They split up into groups. This is the larger one. We've been walking for about 20 minutes or so. And protesters have been marching on the sidewalks in silence with no chanting up until now. I'm just gonna try and get up and give you guys a better view. So as you can see, everybody is on the sidewalk.
They're not letting people
over a bridge.
walk on the sidewalk.
This shit is illegal.
St. Louis City Police, St. Louis City Riot Police, they formed a line across the road all the way to the sidewalk, and they're not going to stop.
And here on the front lines are also the parents of Andre Myers. He's the 18-year-old boy that was killed just a few days ago. And originally this weekend of action was planned for anywhere Mike Brown to build on momentum in the protests that we saw in the aftermath of Mike Brown's killing. But then another police killing, this unit was shot and killed by an off-duty cop just a few days ago. Of course, got people in the streets, and we're now in a different neighborhood in St. Louis, the Shaw neighborhood, where this latest killing happened. Protesters are only on the sidewalks and violating their right to assemble.
I'll be there. Say it.
Y'all showing how fucking ignorant you are following orders.
Y'all just puppet.
Can you guys pass back the legal service up the truck? Pass that back.
And organizers are asking for legal observers to come to the front. The point they're trying to make. The point they're trying to make is that people are on the sidewalk. They have every right to be on the sidewalk. And police are actually the ones blocking the sidewalk.
Y'all need to cover up. Cover up.
my side, as you can see, all the guys in the green hats, that's the National Lawyers Guild. They're legal observers. They're here to observe the protests. We saw them out in the streets in Ferguson 2 months ago. They've been pretty much a regular presence here at the protests. And there's also quite a bit of media. Most of the people in the street right now are actually media and the legal observers, and organizers have actually gone to great lengths to make sure that the media don't get in the way of the protests and don't make it more difficult to protesters, don't put them in a difficult position. So they've actually asked us to not stand in the street, instead to stand in the sidewalk. And we didn't really get a lot of details about tonight's action. We knew that there was going to be an action that was announced. We know that there are more planned for tomorrow. Tomorrow has really been set as the day of civil disobedience to build on the tradition of the Moral Mondays of the civil rights movement. We now see a group of legal observers walking up to police and speaking with them. I'll try to get closer.
Nobody's trying to approach the police line.
We're trying to answer questions under talk here, negotiating with the police liaison from your side. All I'm asking.
Is there a commanding officer on the scene that we can speak with, please?
Can you all stop beating your stick so you can hear your people you protect?
Chief Pearson, we'd like to speak anybody that's in command that I can speak to. His name is Chief Pearson. He's right back behind the line.
He's right beside you. This is a peaceful group of people.
Chief Pearson, the guy in the white shirt, the captain. The young leaders want to speak to you. Peacefully. They want to speak to you peacefully. You should be able to come and talk to the people you protect and you serve.
Chief didn't have a problem with speaking with us. No one has engaged, no one has shouted, no one has been very disrespectful. We're just asking for a civil conversation at this moment. Is that possible for anybody that's in?
I don't know if you guys can hear them, but the legal observers are trying to speak with police here, telling them that this is a peaceful protest. Nobody is shouting.
Are you even police
People are on the sidewalks.
Because nobody will answer if there's an authority that's like,
The DOJ said that y'all should have y'all badges on with y'all name tags. Why are you guys not with y'all name tags?
And as this guy noted, the officers here are not wearing name tags, even though they've been repeatedly told that they should be wearing name tags, of course. But you can see the bunches. This is St. Metropolitan.
So when Costner comes down here on you guys, what are y'all gonna say?
Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Like, really, really ashamed of yourself. I know that there's a lot of really good officers in here, and this is not why you pay an officer to violate people's civil rights.
the Nazis were just following orders.
Officer, you all are going through all of this to protect.
Lieutenant, can we speak to you, sir? Lieutenant, can we speak to you, sir?
I'm a local pastor in the area with young people trying to support them. They just want to ask you a question in terms of how peacefully walking through the sidewalk. There's somebody they can talk to.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
These guys are pretty stone-faced.
I have grandkids, and I'm doing this so that they have a better life. How would you feel if somebody did this to you? Shame on you. I know there's some really good officers out there. Not all of you are bad, but you are showing yourself to be bad. Standing on this line. You have lost your humanity behind a blue shield. Shame on you.
So we can't get one officer in charge to speak with us.
And you, my friend, you there in the white shirt who refuses to come engage with us. They tell us that we need more diversity in the police department. They tell us that that is the solution to all of this, to our children being shot in the streets. And I see you avert your eyes. You can't even look me in the eye.
Probably has a black son who can be dead in the streets by one of your
And yet you
co-workers.
won't engage us. Why is that?
Your children
Where
are not
is your
exempt.
humanity? You won't have a conversation with us. You have the authority to do this, and you will not have a conversation with us?
You can make history and lay down and come with us.
Lieutenant, can we speak with you?
That's me. Eyes on me. This man right here. Turn and follow me. Whole line, move. Turn around. Single file on me. Box left.
So an officer in a white shirt now came and told police to back off.
He said, turn around and follow him.
He said, turn around.
Let him go. Let them go. Nobody needs to say anything.
So you can kind of see police backing off. Maybe just move it into a different formation.
Everybody back on the sidewalk.
Organizers are getting protesters back on the sidewalk.
Everybody come with us, please, family.
Including us.
On the sidewalk.
Get behind the family.
Get behind the family.
Sidewalk!
So for those of you that are just joining us, we are in shock. This is where another 18-year-old black boy was killed by an off-duty police officer just a few days ago. And this happened as organizers of the Ferguson protests from earlier on this summer had already planned a weekend of action for Mike Brown and to sort of build on the momentum of the protests we saw this summer. There are people that came from social justice groups, unions. We've seen like really a variety of groups and people coming from all across the country to St. Louis this weekend, and this was planned before this second police killing. And then of course this happening just a few days ago has gotten people even more angry. It's shifted the locale of the protests to Shot, which is the neighborhood that we're in right now. Even though we've actually seen protests continuing by the Ferguson Police Department, which is a completely different part of town from where we are right now. And you can see there are maybe like a few hundred people marching down. Everybody's sticking, or mostly everybody's sticking to the sidewalk, as organizers have told them. They're really trying to play by the rules, basically. Show officers that this is a peaceful protest, that people have a right to assemble, and if there's any confrontation, that's not coming from protesters. And I'm gonna walk down a little. No, people are not moving to the streets because organizers have made it very clear they should stick to the sidewalk. They've also told them not to chant, not to be disruptive. They really want to show that this is a peaceful protest so that that media and legal observers and everybody that's here can see that if police start any confrontations that's coming from them, basically that seems to be pretty much the strategy tonight. So the police officers that were in a line up here have moved up a little up the road and are now forming a road in the middle of the street. The protesters are still on the sidewalk. And organizers are still telling people to stay on the sidewalk.
That was crazy. You want to pass her up front? Keep down the fucking phone? Like,
So police officers had originally blocked off both the street and the sidewalk where protesters were running. Then an officer in a white shirt came and told them to pretty much back off and move further up, and that's where you guys can see them at the end of the road, just before the traffic lights. Move up. So I'm trying to not get off the sidewalk, but also move up a little bit. And I think it's interesting to notice that earlier today there was a big mass meeting at a sports arena on this St. Louis University campus with hundreds and hundreds of people in attendance. And one of the frustrations that the younger protesters expressed is that there was a lot of solidarity in words. A lot of people came and gave some really inspiring speeches, but then people were saying, well, where are you on the streets? The protests have sort of grown smaller in size, as protests do, and organizers are really trying to make sure that the support people have been getting, you know, on social media and in talks across the country actually reflects in the streets. Last night they organized a different action. It was smaller than this, and people ended up getting arrested. The idea, of course, is that strength is in numbers. They're trying not only to keep people on the sidewalks, but also to keep the group together. I'm
looking for him.
Ashamed of yourself. Definitely ashamed of yourself. My mother did not die for this shit as a soldier, for you to even be an officer in this country.
This is really the first chanting that we're hearing today. People have been pretty much quiet until now, but we've not reached what I think is really the target point of the protests, and people are, you can hear them chanting, hands up, don't shoot, which has been the slogan of this protest pretty much since the beginning. Of course, as many of you remember, witnesses say Mike Brown had his hands up when he was shot and killed, and that has kind of become a symbol of the protests. It also shows that protesters are peaceful in their intentions.
University, there's a bunch of cops across the street
And again, people are really on the sidewalks. Pretty much everybody but the legal observers are.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
Students. This is the St. Louis University campus. There's students or young people at the windows, you know, meeting the protesters.
Is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send that killer cop to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send that killer cop to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send that killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as
I was speaking with people earlier today and asking them about what differences they noticed this time around and how do these protests compare to the ones we saw and covered in August. And one thing that's very clear is these protests are very well organized. There's definitely a plan behind them. People are trying to do their best to make sure that the protests remain peaceful and that people stay safe, and there's a lot of effort from organizers going into that. Of course, there's the additional challenge right now that there are people coming from across the country in support of this protest. It's not just Ferguson protesters anymore, but there are literally people from all over. But organizers have been very, very strategic about this protest, and there have been trainings on nonviolent action. It's been on for at least a few days now. I went to one earlier this morning and saw people being trained on how to resist peacefully, to not engage in confrontations with police, to really drive across the point that these protests are peaceful, and that I think one of the main concerns here is that a lot of people have complained that the media has mischaracterized these protests, that they've focused on the more violent and destructive elements of them, when really this is a peaceful movement that just wants justice and answers that we still haven't seen. So there's really a strong focus put on keeping these protests peaceful so they don't look bad, so then they give media and police no excuse to focus on a couple elements that are disrupting the protests, when really the movement is largely peaceful.
the whole damn system. The whole damn system.
And I apologize if this is gonna get a little shaky right now, but I'm gonna try and run up so I can get you guys a view of this from the front. So there are a lot of people here and keeping everybody on the sidewalk, and there's like a little patch of grass next to the sidewalk. It's quite a challenge, but one that organizers seem really intent on making. And again, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, and as many of you probably know, this is now the third day of action as part of the Ferguson October weekend of action and solidarity that organizers had planned before this new police killing of a few days ago. In the last couple of days, there were very large marches with people from across the country in downtown St. Louis, as well as in Ferguson by the Ferguson Police Department. And then last night there was another action in this neighborhood, although a much smaller one than today's. Today people attended nonviolent action trainings, and then this afternoon there was a 5-hour-long free concert with lots of hip-hop artists, followed by a mass meeting at a sports arena at St. Louis University with several speakers, and that I thought was interesting. There were some really great speakers from across the country, interfaith leaders, but I think one thing that we all took home from this mass meeting was that there's definitely a bit of a generational divide, and people frustrated that a lot of the older generation are expressing their support in theory but not actually showing up in the streets. Though I have to say the numbers out tonight are pretty significant. And we are at St. Louis University right now.
So go steady. You'll be alright.
Students meeting and asking them to respect.
Don't play that role, bro. Come on, man. This ain't mama, Mark. Don't play that role. You want to stop 1,500 people, man? You want to be on the wrong side of history?
Excuse me. Don't be here, bro. This ain't in your fight.
Yeah. Plus, we got its own diversity issues, man. They're really good.
There's a student here that's asking protesters to respect the property, even though they're just standing here, not really doing much. But let's see if we can get more questions.
He's guilty as hell. Convict, send that killer cop to jail.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
So what do you make of all this? I saw that you were asking people to sort of stand up so make sure I get you.
I think this is great to raise awareness for social issues, but I think we should also at the same time just respect this property. I mean, everybody knows what's going on right now. The students are aware, and they're coming out here to support it and just see what's going on. But to go through private property, I just don't think is right as civil disobedience.
Do you think that there's a problem with civil disobedience per se, or are you afraid of what they could do before doing it? Like, what if they just walk through the property? Is that?
I mean, we have to respect police wishes. I mean, I'm not one to say that they're going to do something or not. So.
And so why did they send you out here? Or did you come here?
I just came out here myself to take a look at it.
I have my ID, and I have a lot of guests to accompany me.
And you're not interested in joining them? I think you have students from the university are out here with protesters.
I know a few students,
yeah. Well, looks like they're coming in.
Hands up, hands up, hands up.
happening?
Stay back! Stay back! All students in the front! Don't shoot! Get IDs out first. Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Keep it tight, y'all! Come on! Don't shoot! Slow the fuck down! Don't shoot! 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 Don't shoot!
The march is moving very fast, and the organizers are trying to keep the group compact. We have a few students, presumably, just kind of like standing on the sidelines, like watching this happen, and can't quite tell how they feel about this.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Here are students coming out of the dorms, coming, and the protesters are asking them to join them. And it looks like a couple students maybe are joining, maybe. I'm with Vice News. My name's Alicia. Sorry, I'm filming. Yeah, let me step away so I can see you. Why the university? Why did you guys decide to come here?
I came out here from Brooklyn, and I came out to support the people of St. Louis and Ferguson, and this is what they wanted to do. So I'm just here following them.
That's cool. Fair enough. We're from Brooklyn as well.
I know. I love you guys.
Thanks.
No doubt. You know Tim?
Get out here, Flu!
I think he's coming out here later this week.
Get out here,
So students are now marching through the university campus with their hands up, chanting. This is quite a different scene from what we saw earlier. For the first half hour, 45 minutes of the march, they were really silent and very, in really kind of like a mournful manner, walking down the sidewalks of the neighborhood where this other Tim was killed. I think a few students from the university have joined us here. Are you guys students here? Are you students? Do you mind if I interview you? I'm filming.
Sorry?
Do you mind if I interview you right now? Did you just see this and decide to join?
No,
or?
I knew about you guys coming, and I live down in the other residence hall, which is on South Grand Boulevard, but I saw the police setting up and I decided to come out.
Yeah. Do you think that there's a lot of support for this from the university? I've seen a few students that were asking protesters to stay out.
I think there are quite a few, actually. And the sad part is that a lot of kids just came out just to do it, but
without actually. Well, better than nothing, I guess, right?
Where can I see this? Are you gonna?
This is on Vice News.
I'm sorry?
It's on Vice News, and it's actually live streaming right now.
Oh,
so
okay.
you can
Very good.
get on YouTube and watch it. So this, there's some kind of fountain in the middle of the campus, and one of the organizers telling people to stay off the grates because they might just start shooting water out, which would not be very pleasant. So I was trying to find out why St. Louis University was picked as the site and the target of this action. I asked the wrong guy because I asked somebody who just came into St. Louis this weekend from Brooklyn, but I'm going to try and find some of the local organizers and see if they can tell me more.
Those are all they're good. So they occupying food right now, family.
This is Reverend Seiko, who you probably heard earlier on. Hi there, how are you doing? Can I ask you a question? Why do you think the university is such a symbolic place to have this action?
I'm not going to do no interviews. Thank you.
I'll take one. I'm a student here.
Are you a student here? Why do you think this is an...
I think we're a pivotal generation, you know? They want to educate the college students so that we can participate and learn about what's going on around us.
So did you know this was going to happen, or you just saw it right now?
Actually, I heard about it, and I went down to Reiner over there, and then I walked all the way here with the group.
Is there a lot of support from students at the university?
I think so.
Yeah?
My friends, at least, definitely want to join in and learn, you know? It's about educating yourself about what's going on. A lot of people just stay on campus, and it's nice to learn about what's happening.
I heard some people in the crowd saying that this is not a very diverse university. Do you agree with that? Or?
I don't know. I'm a freshman. I haven't been here long.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Thanks. Let me see if I can find the organizers. But I think this is pretty symbolic. One of the things that was stressed a lot during the early days of the protests is Mike Brown had just graduated high school. He was set to start college. He would have been in college now, actually. So I don't know if that had anything to do with the organizers' decision to send here.
But I've helped out.
Why the university? Like, why was this chosen as a symbol?
Just to continue to bring awareness and attention to this issue of injustice, and to make as many of those in power uncomfortable so that they can stand and speak out against this system of injustice. We want to bring all classes, all religions, all races of people together against this injustice so that they can stand up and speak out. And the only way to do that is to affect economics, to affect comfortability, and make everybody accountable for humans. If they say it's not a black or white thing, we got to speak to this injustice as a family, as a unit.
I've seen a lot of young people obviously out in Ferguson, but not so many student groups or organized students. Why do you think that is?
It was just very important to bring the student body and that demographic into this, because it can be any of us. Any student on this campus, whether they're going to medical school or they get a law degree, it doesn't matter. The police posture against us and kill us and murder us, and they stereotype based on isms in their mind, and they don't know who you are and what's your potential and what you have the ability to accomplish and be. Even if you're a college student or a dropout, they treat us all the same. So it's just as important that we're here occupying this area.
Right. Do you think that the police are going to come in?
Huh?
Do you think the police are going to come in, or is it just...
It's private property. It's private property. I don't think St. Louis Public can come in here at all. St. Louis Police Department.
Thank you. So this is, as you guys heard, the idea was to bring more support for the movement, sort of challenge people in their comfort. But also some of the things we heard earlier at the mass meeting. We heard some guys say, it doesn't matter, I have a college degree, I have a great job. At the end of the day, I still have to deal with the same discrimination, the same profiling. So I think the university is really symbolic in a number of ways. One of the things I asked is why haven't we really seen many student groups? And I have to say today at the training I did see quite a few, but earlier on in the protests I saw a lot of young people, definitely, but not necessarily organized in schools, which I thought was kind of interesting. In other protest settings there tends to be a lot of student organizing, and I haven't seen a ton of that here. Make sure you're in the frame. Why do you think we're at the university? Like, why do you think the university has a place for the action?
Because we're trying to attract the students.
Yeah. Are you not getting a lot of student support yet?
Huh?
Are you not getting a lot of student support?
I'm sure we are, but this is one of the biggest, the largest campuses in St. Louis. So we want to be effective. A lot of people don't know that this protest is going on tonight, so we want to get the word out. And the students are the number one. They're more acceptable. They're more open.
Yeah. So you think they will come out? I saw a couple come out and ask protesters to keep off.
I was on Washington campus the other day. They were very accepting.
So you guys kind of told them that this is going to happen, and you like did some pre-work with them. Like you did some work with them before the action to tell them that this is going to happen, or.
This is the first protest that I know to try to do things. I do know there's groups that are out there recruiting students.
Yeah.
And generally there's
Thank you so much. So some of the organizers calling for a mic check.
Everybody, give yourselves a round of applause.
And I also see Cornel West down there. He said earlier today that he didn't come here to give speeches, he came here to be arrested, and I didn't see him earlier on, so I was curious. Here he is.
This is an unco-opted event right here.
This is the power of the people.
This is the real definition of resistance.
Say it.
I've been here since Friday, a lot of y'all, and you haven't experienced any resistance. You've been hurt.
Boxed in.
You've been boxed in.
Co-opted
around.
That's right.
Paraded around. You do parades with police escorting you.
Parties with police escorts.
Break down these systemic issues that we deal with every day of our lives. Black, white, brown, blue, red, everybody.
Y'all get obviously they don't want to do that.
Right.
All right, real quick. I want to make sure everybody understands why we're here in the first place. We are here to destroy systematic racism and white.
I'm stepping a little further away from the podium so I can get a better feed.
Understand that it's not me, white versus black, Hispanic versus Asian. No, that means 99% of us people with nothing to pass down, they work every day to make ends meet, versus the 1% of the people who sit back and lay back and tell us what the fuck to do. My children grow up in this godforsaken ass. So let's fix it. Do that.
So, I wonder. Some of y'all was wondering when this civil disobedience is gonna kick in. Y'all wondering, huh? Well, it's 1 o'clock in the morning today. Almost 2. I'm sorry, almost 2 o'clock. But it is Columbus Day, which represents. Well, oh yeah, Columbus represents. He's a thief. He's a guy who takes over things that's not his. That's what he did. But on his day, we're here to reclaim our shit. We are here to reclaim our shit. I know this was a college a couple of hours ago. But as of right now, this is our spot and we're not going nowhere. This is a city. This is a city. We're not going nowhere. This is our land. Everybody get comfortable. We're going to have a good time out here. Let's go.
We're on stolen land.
Real quick, we want to shout out a couple of people who made all this shit possible. We want to say thank you.
I'm gonna walk through the crowd. Sorry if you guys get a weird view for a moment. I'm gonna try and step out, sorry, and get to like an elevated area and see if I can get a better feed because connection is kind of failed. Let me see if I can get a high spot somewhere.
We want to shout out to they put in some work. I know y'all heard about them. Yeah, we're going to shout out BSA and Slow.
So to recap for those of you guys that are just joining us, we're on the campus of St. Louis University, and this is the action that was planned for tonight. I'm so sorry.
Listen up. What's going on, y'all? I'm Eddie Nebo. I am a sophomore here at St. Louis University.
Okay, I apologize for 1 second. You'll get a weird view just for.
American male here at St. Louis University. Make some noise, please. Thank you. I'm getting my degree in business management with a minor in economics. I want to let you guys know. Freshman year, I came here. And this school preaches diversity. This school preaches inclusion. But freshman year was...
I'm gonna try and get closer so we can actually see the speakers. Hopefully the feed stays up.
Listen to me right now, all right? We have a responsibility. This isn't a bubble. I know you see the trees, you see the nice infrastructure. This isn't a bubble. Step out, there's a community hurting right now. As students, we have a responsibility. You and your fraternity, you and your sorority.
You guys are hearing from one of the students here at the university inviting the rest of the student body to participate and help this movement. I'm gonna try and get closer.
Please make sure you have the jail support number on your arm. That is 314-862-2249. If you need the number, there's a man jumping around back there in the flag. Gladly write that on your arm.
So I don't know if you guys could hear it, but they said the next thing is that we'll try to sleep right here. I'm gonna walk around and try to talk to a few people. Actually, it looks like a group of people is leaving. I don't know if that's the family, maybe. And here's Cornell West. I can't quite make out what he's saying. All right, sorry.
Yo, mic check, everybody listen up, mic check. Since we are a tribe, we are a community, we want to put something to the vote real quick. So just make as much noise as you want for whatever option you want. So option one, we stay here, we occupy, we stay here all night. Option one, smoking!
We had the family of an 18-year-old boy that was killed by an off-duty police officer with us earlier today. This killing just happened 4 days ago, and actually, before this killing, there was already a weekend of action planned by organizers of the Ferguson protests that you guys followed earlier this summer. We have people from across the country that have come to St. Louis for this weekend. This is the third day of action. There have been a number of marches and rallies, as well as so one of the original proposals that I heard tonight was a few of the protesters were saying we should just sleep here, but that seems like it's not actually going to happen. So we're waiting to hear what the next plan is. But sorry, I got disconnected there while I was giving you guys a little bit of a summary. For those of you that are just joining us, we are at St. Louis University in the middle of the campus. There are several hundred people with us. This is the third day of the Ferguson October weekend of action over Columbus Day, which is tomorrow, of course. And organizers of the Ferguson protests earlier this summer had planned this weekend of action for several weeks now. There are groups from all across the country that have come to St. Louis for this. There are social justice coalitions, student groups, unions, groups against the Israeli occupation of Palestine, really quite a diversity of people, as well as, of course, a lot of St. Louis residents and Ferguson residents. So this weekend had been planned for quite a while, but then just 4 days ago there was actually news of another police killing, this time an 18-year-old black boy killed in the Shaw neighborhood, which is actually very close to where we are, in a dynamic that seems very similar to Mike Brown's. This time it was an off-duty police officer that shot 16 rounds. There are, of course, very... I think you guys can hear me. Let me double check. I want to make sure that we're live.
I guess.
Are you all from this area?
So as I was saying, there are very different accounts of what happened this time. Police are saying this teen was armed. His family is saying he absolutely was not, and he was carrying a sandwich. Earlier on, the protest actually, the march started from the Shaw corner where the killing happened. A few hundred people gathered there. There's a memorial set up there, very much like there was a memorial set up for Mike Brown. There still is a memorial set up for Mike Brown on Canfield Drive in Ferguson. And people gathered there and spent quite a bit of time there, then split into two groups. And the idea was really to sort of outsmart police, basically, to get to this target for the action tonight. Last night there was a different action, a smaller group, quite a few arrests in the end. people stage a sit-in at a Quick Trip, which, as some of you might remember, the Quick Trip is a gas station that became kind of the center of the protests this summer during the Mike Brown protests. And this time, yesterday, protesters attempted to take over a Quick Trip in Shaw, where the second killing took place. Today, the group is much larger, and as you see, the action has moved to St. Louis University. And the idea behind the university is really to try to recruit more students, more support from young people. This is a young movement, but I think a lot of the organizers are hoping to find support and find solidarity with the students here. And I've noticed quite a few of them talking to students and trying to wake them up and, tell them you're privileged, you're sheltered, you don't really get to see a lot of what's going on outside of your city here. Also, an interesting thing that that I saw earlier today, there was a very large mass meeting organized at a sports arena here at the university with a lot of speakers, some more known than others, but a lot of leaders from different religious denominations, a lot of community leaders, all very much part of the older generation. And I think there was a very, not just palpable, but a very obvious frustration on part of protesters who are mostly young. And the people that have been on the front lines are, for the most part, really young St. Louis and Ferguson residents who expressed appreciation for the support they were getting and, said they respect the elders, so to speak, but then also expressed quite a bit of frustration at the fact that a lot of people are not out on the street. Of course, as many protests do, this one has grown bigger and then smaller, and I think there's a very real sense that there needs to be some further action taken. It can't just be words. Words are all good and powerful, and we definitely heard some very powerful ones earlier tonight. But there was definitely sort of like a clash between generations that was visible tonight. It's not entirely clear what's next. Of course, tomorrow is the big day of civil disobedience that protesters have planned. Today there were trainings to prepare for that, and actually one thing I've noticed, there's this is a definitely very well organized movement, but there's also been a very deliberate attempt to keep some of the details about these actions under wraps, which makes a lot of sense, of course. Protesters don't want police to find out what's going to happen, and are trying to get to the place before police can get to them, which is what happened tonight. So we don't quite know what the details of tomorrow's actions are, but we will bring them to you for sure. Let me try and see if I can.
We're gonna press it. So I'm gonna tag you up this way.
We have Cornell West posing with fans here.
That's a ball we just did.
How you doing there, man? Throw down tomorrow morning. How you doing, my brother? Sir. You hold on all right?
So some people are starting to leave, and I'm hearing others saying that we should go to Ferguson, so I'm not quite sure what's happening next.
Okay, we gotta run. God bless you.
Can I have a question for the camera? Well, as we were told, he's not really willing to talk to us, but I tried.
You know I'm a good person.
And like people just go up and hug and everything.
So again, for those of you that are just joining us or that have been watching us for a while, we're at St. University campus. We've been here for a while. This is the third day of the Ferguson October Action Weekend that was originally planned to build on the momentum of the Ferguson protests this summer after Mike Brown's killing. But then, of course, 4 days ago, another 18-year-old black boy was killed by an off-duty police officer. So we've had a lot of people get very angry and sort of come out about that as well. The idea that this, again, after all these protests, after the massive mobilization of the summer, we're seeing yet again another teenager shot and killed by police. So that has somewhat shifted the center of this protest to the Shaw neighborhood where we were earlier, and now we're on a university campus because organizers have said they're trying to build momentum with students, try to get more support. This was the target of the action tonight. Tomorrow is going to be another day of civil disobedience. The idea is to tap into the tradition of the Moral Mondays that were such an important element of the civil rights movement. And of course, a lot of the Ferguson movement has taken inspiration from the civil rights movement. We've heard definitely a lot of civil rights rhetoric tonight. It's not entirely sure what's going on tonight. I heard some people talking about possibly sleeping here. I don't think that's actually going to happen. A few people have started to leave. Others have said maybe they're going to be going to Ferguson. Of course, we'll stick around, and if more happens, we'll get back to you. But for now, we're just going to sign off. And you can keep following our coverage from Ferguson and St. Louis and Vice News. Thank you.
What was your website called again?
Don't shoot!